This is the all-new Mazda CX-30, and believe it or not, reviewing cars can sometimes be a dangerous business.
At this money are doing interiors this good. Mazda have got
Welcome to Nobby on Cars with Mark Noble.
Welcome back to the channel. The Mazda CX-30 is a car that wants a bit of the action from the Nissan Qashqai, the Hyundai Tucson. Every crossover that's had a success story the last few years, this wants a slice of the action. And it's pretty good. It's the beautiful Soul Red. I don't know if there's a nicer colour on the planet. It's certainly the nicest Mazda colour you can ever get. Why would you buy a Mazda in any other colour except Soul Red? You can get this car from just under €30,000, but this is a GT Sport version, which is like the Platinum equivalent. It's the leather seats, the almost white ones. It's got heads-up displays and the upgraded alloy wheels, electric boot release and blind spot. It's the top of the range one. This is going to be about €36,000, which is a very expensive Qashqai or Tucson. There's a couple of engines, Mazda Sky Active. This one is pushing out 180 brake horsepower. Doesn't necessarily feel like 180 brake horsepower, but it's a naturally aspirated engine. Mazda aren't doing turbos. They're not too bothered by electric just at the moment either. There is a diesel option, but really it's petrol all the way.
Boot space in the CX-30 is typical of any crossover on sale. There's no spare wheel, but if you have bows, the sub takes up some space that folds away. In this trim you'll get an electric boot, and for comparison, the boot is similar to the Nissan Qashqai but smaller than the Seat Ateca and nearly 100 litres smaller than the Skoda Karoq. If you'd like to try out the boot space yourself, check out Mazda.ie for ways to arrange a contactless test drive, including having a car delivered to your home.
It's just over 400 or so litres. It's pretty much as you'd expect in the range of these cars. Mazda didn't really set the world on fire for me in the back of the 3. I just thought the legroom was a little bit tight. What's it like in the CX-30? I do have to give them huge credit for how far these doors open. If you need to get child seats and things, they've designed them in a way that it's very, very easy to do. Rear legroom, it's still kind of tight. Like, it's not bad. There's still definitely more room than something like the 3. If you've got your sliding armrest forward, you've got a nice bit of middle room here. There's no USB charging solutions down here, unfortunately. They do give you an armrest like that. For rolling the seats in here, there's little clips on the seatbelt holders. That means your seatbelt doesn't get tucked in behind the seats when you push them forward again. There's LED lights, grab handles, really nice leather covered door handles again if you go for this GT Sport version of it. The passenger seat has a cargo storage area, but the back of the driver's seat doesn't. Very few brands are doing interiors like Mazda. Everything's soft, metal. You just feel like a bit of effort has gone into seriously upgrading the inside of their cars compared to what they were many, many years ago. Controls down here feel great and solid, very much akin to everything you're getting across the 6 range. Your dials are nice and colourful and clear. 3 big huge dials. I like that they still have kind of old dials mixed with modern colour graphics. Those brown leather door handles, they remind me of something like you get in a Porsche Panamera. So there are real obvious bits of stitching around the inside of the car, and it looks really class, as does this fantastic looking Mazda steering wheel. You get some USB beside the radio and an actual CD player, which Mazda still do. You get more under the armrest here. You get a heads-up display in this car. Again, GT lines will get that. And there's Android and CarPlay. You do need to plug in your cable to do that, but it's not exactly a big deal. And it's the same size screen that you're getting in the 3. The map quality looks all right. It even lets you control menus a bit quicker than it has done, because Mazda like to lock things down when you're on the move. It doesn't seem as restrictive in this CX-30. So it's a very comfortable and classy place to be, and that's kind of how Mazda are doing things these days. Mazda are making a big thing about these Sky Active G engines that they have in their petrol lineup, and They like to be wound up. That part of it can make them a little bit inefficient when it comes to fuel, because you really get the performance out of them, you've got to wind them up. And torque levels, even between the 130 odd brake horsepower and the 180 brake horsepower, there's like less than 20 newton meters of torque between the two cars. You've got really good safety systems on board, such as lane departure, blind spot. Again, these are in the higher spec GT Sport version of the car, but it handles very well. A lot of crossovers, they can be a bit wallowy through the corners. It's not quite MX-5 material now, but coming into bends, you can really push it on and wind it up. And again, that element of Mazda and driver car vibe about them is present even in something like this, which is a crossover for carrying families. The suspension is pretty good. It's tight, but it's not too firm. It doesn't shake everybody in the car and have them complaining about the road surface and the bumps in the road. Heated seats and heated driver's steering wheel are nice little things that are total comforts, first world things. We can do without them, but you know what, when they're in the car, they're nice. The heads-up display is class too. Reversing camera is really, really clear. There's good quality graphics and picture on that. Fuel-wise, it's doing 7.4 litres per 100 kilometres on average, with 180 brake horsepower from a petrol engine, a 2 litre. I don't think that's too much to ask, really. Gearbox is nice and precise, tight changes on it, it's short enough. You know, they've catered for everybody here. They've catered for someone who wants to bring families around, but if you're a car enthusiast and feel like you're giving up your soul, changing to something that's a bit more family orientated, there's still little things in this car that are going to make you feel like there's something for you too. I like that about Mazdas. It's just smooth. It's quiet car. It's refined. It's comfortable. It's good looking. Price aside, at €36,000 for this top of the range one, it's not an awful lot that the CX-30 is getting wrong in my book. There's not going to be as many of these on the road either, so you're going to have something that is a bit more exclusive if you're going to go for one. But let me know your thoughts on the car, and if you've got any questions about it, I'll try and answer them in the comments below. Hopefully as well you've subscribed to the channel by now. That would be very cool if you haven't already done so. I'll see you soon.